So, okay, so today it is, let me see what day it is. The 25th. Just at least put some lipstick, right? I felt like, what's the point? Ever since the lockdown, I just have not been feeling in the mood for nothing. I mean, like, and I think that's one of the. Well, I said a day, right? Well, today it is again. I know it's the 25th, but what day? Wednesday. Wednesday, May 25th, 2022. Uh, well, I miss my park that I usually go to, but that's gonna have to wait at least a couple more months. And probably gonna miss the whole summer because of my surgery, but I'm really happy. And it was worth it. It was, I guess, I hate to say that it came at the right time. So far, knock on wood, I don't want to, just be reckless in the speech, because I know it's like we can, no matter what, can never even come close to God's work. Look at even my voice still messed up from. I mean, that's a joke, right? It sounds like a joke. I mean, like, I have no proof or nothing. When I was like almost 7 hours in surgery, I mean, I was not. You have to have that tube down your throat, just like this damn government. And so it's just change is not that easy for me. I guess I'm gonna say that. I guess I heard a lot of people we suffer from that. Lack of being limber and flexible and like water. Actually, my boyfriend. I hate the word boy because that's a slur. If you call a man a boy, that's obviously a slur. Um, but that's the way the word is. So I'm even losing my train of thought. That's how being locked up. I mean, areas like in the middle of the sign, like I'm full blown areas with Pisces ascendant. Like I was wondering, how is that shit even possible? Water and fire. I guess. No, I just what really triggered me to go and look for something to wear. I sorry, I have forgotten about this. I have forgotten about this dress. I used to go to Unique all the time, which is a chain of thrift shops. There's one in Jamaica, which is amazing, you know, and there's one in Riverdale, but it's just like it's just not great. There used to be one downtown Brooklyn, so I did not even remember I had this dress. It's just like how I mean everything is like $5-10. They give you they have days that they give you extra 50-75% off according to the colors. So and it's a steal. And I'm all about colors, so I just go there, I don't know, I hate this. I don't know who is ever doing that shit. Skinny bitches, that whatever they hide the dresses, so sometimes you have to. But I mean, it's that color is the first thing that get me, um, and um, and that's been happening to me, the past, 3, 4 months, that I find dresses and like there's nowhere to go, there's nothing. I mean, it's the spontaneity. It's just what if anybody was to ask me, one word, what's the definition of life? Is unpredictability, and we've been forced to live in like this. Some people, I have to learn how to talk, how to say like, you know, sometimes I go a little binge watching Gonzalo Lira, which I don't want to get into him. It's like, oh my God, this is what people have told me. You get annoyed because I explain too much. I explain too much, but I have to because you're not living inside my head. I'm not living in yours. It's like, and I don't assume. I mean, there was a time, when we used to have 3 television channels, and we all watch the same shit. The next day we talk about it, right? But obviously, here I have to remember about Gonzalo Lira because he said something really, really right. How he's trying. I'm not the only one who have. When he went missing, a lot of people. Some people was like, you know, oh my God, this is one of the words in my native tongue. I don't know how to translate it right now. It's a quién se le ocurre. A quién se le ocurre. Well, I don't know. You can translate it. I mean, like, there was a couple of guys who said that. I mean, especially because of his geographical location. I guess I don't know. So, um, yeah, I just had a passing thought of like, like some answer that I think I was looking for. I don't know. Somehow it just came. That's how random the mind is. So anyway, yeah, learning to talk. Yeah. So now I'm gonna say the super rich, the super affluent. Is that better? I think that's better, right? I, you know, since I'm staying home, another lockdown. I mean, not that I was like, I'm Aries. I was the only one in the street. The only one in the whole train. The train was going back and forth empty, so I had to ride it, and I had my speaker. I love music. It's a shame that I cannot be. I like those videos. I don't know. It's just a little too much. I know because being Aries, centering, grounding. Whew, I guess that's my mantra. That gotta be my mantra for the rest of my life. Because when I was young, I used to be like bouncing off the walls with ADD and stuff. So these are the times when I get like, this is so good to put it in words to speak up because you have it here like a ping pong, and then you come out in words and you go like, it don't sound the way it sounded. And that's one of the things I tell, my boyfriend because, men are usually very, very quiet. And, well, except one of my friends that he used to talk about Storm, and, and he ended the friendship because I told him that. And I was polite because it's like, I never met a man to talk that much. And he got so offended, you know. And I mean, I couldn't even get like 2 words in. That's how. and he's been called. You see, it's not all a substitute. This is why I like Cracker, because there's also, I mean, that's the tip of the iceberg. The affluent, the super affluent. That's the tip of the iceberg, which is sustained on the, millions and billions of aspirationists. Somehow, everybody thinks that, the American dream, if you want to call it that. Um, Everybody thinks that, it's on their way there. Especially, I live in Little Quisqueya since 1994, so you can quiz me on Dominicoons. So, I mean, it's like everybody, like, people don't get tired. I mean, like, thinking how, they're getting closer and, or getting higher, whatever, higher. I'll say lower into their level of, oh, my voice. I didn't know my voice was still so fucked up. My boyfriend hasn't said nothing. He's just amazing. I don't know why he's so nice to me. Especially now. This is like, oh, this is the moment that really, like, wow. Like, it just happened. It just happened. I don't know, but it's scary. It's just scary. I've never really been, um, obviously, I don't know. It's obviously, I don't know. But I'm 57, so I should be like, seasoned, right? Because now we're not all just seasoned ladies. I hate that we have to mince our words and make them look like, oh, and for what? I mean, still they're gonna like shut it down when they're gonna close it. Like, it's their platform. It's like, I have a friend, in Mexico, and he's like, their shit. So it's like, and he said, didn't you read the damn rules? Because he read the whole chorizo of like shit, and like, it say they can do it, say they can do it. Like, well, you know. So I find myself sometimes ruminating about ways, how to. I hate that. I just hate that. But at any rate, going back to the subject, like, which I wrote really fast. So how many more history repeats? How many more history repeats? I think I found a good filter. Sorry, I left it here because I want to share. I mean, this is just for the chlorine, and it lasts 4 months, but I think it lasts longer. But capitalism is like, I was like, I can't believe it took so many years for people to realize when it said, do not sell after, March 26, whatever. You got to tell people, it's like, it said here, do not sell it. You don't mean that you cannot drink it. Of course, drink is really bad for your health anyway, milk is very, very bad. I'm like, so this is what I was gonna, this has been in my mind for years. Actually, I only read in the summertime. I mean, I only read them at the beach and in the train. Sometimes I'm able to read in the house, but I have to check. I have to check all the time. Can I read now? Can I read? Or and it's just, I can read now better, but it's just being locked up. So I keep thinking about I mean, because it explained very well. I mean, very simplistic, don't get me wrong. I mean, but, very synthesized about the so called abolition of slavery. And as I began to read that part of the book, I thought it's like, damn, this is like, I thought it's like, if anybody read this part and you see how it's always about shocking, a surprise factor, which congratulations to President Putin, because it seemed like he finally he get it. You have to have the factor of surprise. You have to come with surprise factor if you want to. I don't even want to know what to say. I feel like I want to explode. I mean, I'll not explode, but just say it, just the way it is. Devil, the blue-eyed devil. So, I mean, which is like, I mean, of course, I go into like trying to, contextualize and stuff. I mean, like, ever since I've been going to the Rockaways, well, not all the Rockaways. Sometimes I take another route, but going towards Flatbush, which is, little IT, which is just like it's crazy. I just wanted to buy an apartment, and I bought this apartment in 1994. But I don't know. I just feel like more drawn to IT. I'm not going to show you my house, but I have a painting of Tucson, right there. And then the most honorable Marcus Garvey, lots of Malcolm X, happy belated birthday, rising power king, and of course, President AMLO, President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, the newspaper from the Victory Day for us. A small victory, not the victory day, you know. Um, which, by the way, it's like I feel like people there wasn't. I saw some people that was like not really. I mean, I guess there's a transcripts of the speech of President Putin. On the I think it was 70, I forgot. 77th anniversary of the Patriotic War, right? Which is very different, patriotic war and now like this patriot, which is like it's a fatherland, the fatherland. So when we get these blue, um, talking about patriots, and nobody tell them, hey, the caves are over there in Northern Europe, where you left tons and hundreds of thousands of tons of human remains, from the last ice age, which you refuse to relocate to Azania, and you froze to death. And yes, you survived, but it's always the inside. It is always the inside. It's always, and if we was able to see that, you see, that shit is not DNA. That shit is not DNA. And those people selling, like I hear in Latin America, improving the race because supposedly having limp, dull hair is improving the race. I don't know. So I'm making a little soup. And I think the house just got very hot. No, I'm having hot flashes too because, you know, I have to stay away from estrogen, just in case of a blood clot, which that's something subject that I started watching this morning. And every time I watch these kind of videos, I just go like, wow, I just think like no self-esteem. But I'm not gonna get into that. I want to focus on history repeat. Um, I mean, so there is that. At one time, I guess I need to write as soon as I remember, how many times they've done that. I mean, I have tried, to get that GED here like 10 times. So they tell you some of the stuff, which even before the Great Depression, people already have gotten their what's it called, the rug pulled under their feet. I'm getting anxious. I'm nervous, I guess. So, and that's something that I want to study. I mean, the Roaring Twenties. Which I mean, it's not. I feel like that's one of the chapters that I mean, they. I mean, and we still have to talk about 2008, but between the Roaring Twenties and 2008, and not just 2008. After 2008 and before today, there's been major. I was gonna say crisis averted, but it was not averted. It's just they do all this weird, crazy shit. Like I'm just uploading a video right now of this crazy guy. Just like, I mean, it's like so. So I want to upload it on tiny little nuggets because it's just. I mean, I understand other people got ADD like myself and they're in denial. So I try to have little nuggets. So hopefully, we start helping with the process of internalization, right? And of it's not edutainment or whatever. No, it's not show business. It is I feel like the mind right now, not just minds. I mean, I think minds is not as bad as some other people. I don't know. But distinguishing what is just information, what is entertainment, what is reality, so to speak, or reality, which is a reality. But I'm not going to get into that, But I mean, there's a point that you say is reality when you got a knife right here or a gun right here, and it's just But I feel like we still. I mean, it's not like the Roaring Twenties. I mean, like what we was told is not just like my grandma. I got surprised. My grandma, she was never talk about pop culture or anything, but she said that she talked about. Oh my God, I cannot do it. The Charleston. Yeah, I saw her face when I mentioned the Charleston, and I mean, you see, there's no information about the 20s. They tell you, yeah, the Roaring 20s. I mean, of course, there's tons of information. There's tons of, whatever. I mean, part of it is the fake Titanic kind of situation that, I mean, and you see the pattern, always collecting these extremely lucrative insurance policies like the Twin Towers right here. I'm like, I mean, just like this is shit is like it's right there, and and then you talk to people. I can go out in the street and just talk to the first person. Hey, you know about the Twin Towers, right? It's like they're gonna say, duh, hell yeah, yeah. And it's like, I mean, I understand that, one of the ramifications was that because of that, it trickled down into China not getting their gold. I mean, that Obama went basically read between the lines, and I mean, nobody's getting their gold. We don't even know where it is. It's like, and that's one of the crazy things that really affect me because I tell everybody every day when I used to be out in the street every day, I say like, we got wiped out. We got wiped out. I mean, in less than 20 years. More than $30 trillion. And I'm telling and people go like, whatever, like, because I don't know if it's because of whatever, gangster rap or whatever that people are like used to seeing Instagram, I mean, look, I can say this is real shit. It's not $10. I got it on my friend on Fulton Street in Brooklyn. $10. I got it from Macy's, and he got I didn't get these earrings. He got $5 earrings. It's like, that's all I need. Give me cheap watches and earrings, and well, now I'm thinking about rings. No, anyway, and I mean, like the first 42 presidents left us with 1.1, which is a lot. But then you say like, well, that was 200 years, right? 200 years. We gotta pay. Well, not us or great 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 grandchildren. Basically, I mean, I tell people, you don't care that the future generations are gonna curse us out. I mean, like, why everything get crooked if I'm just alone over here? I know my boyfriend. He just comes sometimes. Boyfriend. This is what I say. Like, like I met a lot of people because I'm Alanonic. Alanonic. I don't know. You can look it up. Alanon. Alanon. I'm not a substance user or anything. But anyway, I'm not gonna say more like that. I hear people like when they share, about like, people are like how we are like so selfish at the same time that I mean like in Manhattan I read one time it's like more than 50 or 70, I forgot how many. We live alone in an apartment. Imagine if we had a flexible, like, trade. Trade my apartment without money, without whatever. I know people is crooked, For me, for just one little studio, for me, that's all I need. I have a humongous one bedroom. Never married, so it's just wasted. But I feel like I mean, one of the things that I also try to read a lot is African Twitter, and I have read people talk about especially writers and stuff. How people they don't use their houses that much like we use here. People stay more outdoors. And I was like, that makes sense. It's like because now, let's say at 57, the winters are like, if I go outside and I fall in the clear ice that you don't see again, and it take me 3 years to recover my hip or my knee, and then It makes me angry. So much coal that start burning. I just can't. I just can't. That's another story. That's why I'm thinking sometimes I want to go back home. Well, supposedly billions of people want to be right here. I got everything right here. Everything. I mean, thanks to God, to Nancy, and my ancestors, I never lacked anything. I mean, and I try to be precautious, try to, follow my grandma's advice and stuff, God bless her. And not to be reckless. I mean, I was reckless, but not like I've known some people that they were like, that there was like, wow, it's like no self-esteem. And that's what it all boiled down to. I mean, I can talk here 3 days in a row, and the solution would be self-esteem. And that's something that, sometimes I think like, well, our self-esteem is very low. And then I see some shit, it's like, we got no self-esteem at all. At all. I mean, one of the things I was talking about that I was watching videos, and it's like, real women, and just how reckless they are with their, like, just like it casual, I look at those details, because obviously I have surgery and stuff. Like, I know my house is not sanitized. I mean, I try to change my bed sheets every day, every other day, and stuff. I left everything washed up, but I mean, even when I'm already like years ahead, I'm like, it's membrane, and membrane is a portal. And like all this stuff, and like I found out they have panty liners with what's it called, with gel. I mean, like, I'm still shocked. This morning I saw some Becky like doing a review, and it's like, and then she just went like this, like it leaked. I don't know. It's like, what is that gel? It's like, it's just we go like, oh, Zaddy made it, so it must be good. Boom. Like, plastic. I'm talking about like, like the panty liner. Boom. Like, and what's permeating to this? It's like, don't get me wrong. They don't want us to die, but if you become some chronic, kaching kaching that, every month, my HIV medication is they say it's more than $10,000 allegedly. And I say, well, I don't think we're gonna get our land back. People already forgot. That we were stolen more than 60% of our land. And they talk every day about Palestine, and we've been Palestine way before. And actually, somebody said it was like the Palestinization of Mexico. It's like, no, that was the Mexicanization of Palestine. I mean, like, not the other way around. But I mean, we all like don't have original thoughts, ideas, nothing. And again, self-esteem, like, and of course, they study us tremendously. I'm like, I've been running to these documentaries that's like, why? I was like, why? I didn't want to know that. Like, there's one that is not the most Yeah, well, it is super, super cringe. But it's from the BBC, the British Broadcasting crap. Um, it's called A Century of the Self. I watched that shit like 10 times. And actually, I just found it again. It's like 4 hours long. So I think it's better because that interruption, like whatever, is like kind of like so much. This is why, if it wasn't like copyright, so much stuff, I like to put like, some stuff that got me like, left my head like spinning like this. I like to put like little sound bites, for me to remember and for somebody might like help you like sink in, like always think about layers of an onion, right? It's like, okay, so they awaken us. But, people, they say like, another thing people say, everybody's awakened and like, whatever, shit is going to be like, whatever, but no, I mean, people like, most people, they just go like, snooze, or, they just sleepwalkers. I don't know. But that is a major problem. And, like I was talking, last night in my country, home country. Yeah, sound very right, home. Um, oh my God. I'm like, I'm listening to the water. I'm like, and my head is like congested too. I had a ruptured eardrum and it's healing, but now I just hear like echo. Not echo, like, oh, now I'm having a panic attack. Okay. Anyway, I mean, not anyway, I mean, I am much better. I used to be like, at first, I was in denial for like, what is that? And then it just like, it hit me one day. Yeah, I have those, you know, several times a day. Like, and, I mean, it's always best. It is always best, as hard as it was, like in 2005, I said like, okay, I'm gonna give it 6 months. I'm gonna go to therapy and then continue with my life. And yeah, I was like, wow. I mean, yeah, I think that shit was much more harder than when I found out I was transsexual. Yeah, because just like I tell you, yeah, chronic every day. Nutrition, sleep, relaxing, entertainment, and all this stuff that I should have got down in my childhood, but thanks to my mother, that she was a feminist and she rather wanted to go to work. I mean, she worked, no bunnies, but she worked, but just like, I mean, people they don't realize, how much they're effing up because there's so much shit we have to learn from our mother the first 6 years, and she ain't there. Nobody, but I mean, as scary as that was, there was television, and now it's like we're longing for television times, and it's just I keep bringing back to this picture of how much we been complaining about intrusive, but we don't do shit about it. The newspapers. When I was little, it was like my father was like, "I don't see you." He would go like, like that picture of the great Malcolm X fixing his glasses, you know, and complain. That's it. Do nothing. And this is when you know how the thrives on sadistic. I mean, they're gonna say now that Marquis de Sade was, you know, I don't know, some icon too. It's like how much some of the most awful stuff is in French. You know, like coup d'état, like yeah, I don't know, masochism. I mean, like no masochism, sadism, sadistic. Wasn't he French? I don't know. It's just something to think about. And then English is like the words, you know, the bombshells and the friendly fire. Um, I'm sorry. Oops. And everything is fixed. But it's just like how we complain and you know, the slave master call like, oh, so you don't like that. So let me put a television right there. Complain. Then brought the damn cell phones. And now we're talking about submersive, not just intrusive. Gone, gone. You're gone. Because they say that shit is gonna be so beautiful. You know, you can put there whoever you want. You know, like my father who just died last year. And he died the day before my mom's birthday. Uh, Rest in peace, Dad. But he was a simp. And very little self-esteem. Very little self-esteem. He went and got the woman with the most pale skin, and he thought like, I have arrived. He thought as a black man, he thought it's like, what else is there to life? And he thought also of revenge because supposedly my mom was the prettiest of all his brother's wives. Are you serious? Are you serious, Dad? Anyway, I mean, like, just thinking about Wall Street. If Wall Street was Mexican, that shit would have been shut down at least 100 years ago. But, you know, we go like, oh no, there's regulations. There's regulations. I was watching some of them. Gerald, you know, Gerald Celente, right here in Kingston, New York. I didn't know he got documentaries like that, you know. I mean, like, and I'm talking about 15, 20 years ago. I mean, not just him. I mean, a lot of people, you know, that can talk without getting the channels shut down or getting kicked out of television. I mean, like you see, like every other thing is like dire and desperate, and this is like you know, like cancer. You know, I think about you know, like a house fire. That's actually what happened to my auntie. You know, and like, you know, her daughter, she wanted to warm up the milk for the baby. I mean, which was it was all babies, you know, and the rag caught on fire. She got scared that she was gonna, and the solution was to just throw it in the kitchen cabinet, in the kitchen. Ay, como se diga eso. So that was my welcoming to the United Slaves. in 1990, February 14, 1990. So, and I mean, like, I mean, and and not just the typical, nutrition or whatever, but it's just like as a whole. I mean, this is like we are right now, like we was a computer, and we are in the deconstruction mode. Everything that our African American brothers built during slavery, during Jim Crow, like I say, they had the GED classes. So this is not like also something that, no, I mean, I've done my own researches. I've been to lectures. I've been to like a not Cornell West or Cornell, I'm sorry. All the sellouts. I mean, that's another problem. Another problem. It's just like, I mean, this is the most thing that I hate the most. For African American brothers and sisters, like what stitches? They get sent off, in glory. And you look at the districts and you go, how is those guys, like Elisha Cummings, Robert Lewis, absolutely nothing. They're like Mandela, it's like, oh, yeah, it's like problem fixed. You get no land. It's like, and now like Azania is even worse than ever. And I read a lot of people from Azania, in Azania, talking, and and I get a lot of, especially when the massacres, which seem to be like a massacre every 3 months. It's just you hear a lot of their reactions, the coverage and stuff, and you learn a lot about a society. Again, no self-esteem. Like in Phoenix, the Phoenix massacres, like these Indians, they just kill them in their own land. It's not like, the original men went to India. No. I mean, this is like, what kind of people is that? If I'm in my home, I mean, this is not the case. Like I said, like, talking about 60% of our land, so don't tell me that we're crossing borders, with this the other way around. So, but it's like if I was to go, like, one of my dreams is to go live in Venezuela or Haiti. I feel like I would be more like respectful. I mean, even if I get citizenship and whatever, like whatever, you gotta be respectful. Not justice is like, the trash is like festering. Al Sharpton, right here. And Malcolm X is gone. I mean, like, where's the justice in that? I mean, like, how can you live every day? Like, if I was to imagine if I was W.E.B. Du Bois, to be like, what, 95 years, whatever, like, I just can't. I just couldn't. Yes, he sent a letter to the Most Honorable Marcus Garvey's wife, apologizing, but talk about billions and billions of life affected. Horribly negative. I just remember about Sunday. And I feel like I'm in 2018. And that's not like, people, they say, oh, you're stupid. Like, problems ain't gonna solve. But that's the beginning. At least if Petro win Colombia, at least what he can be doing is just do like this in the car, you go like, push the damn brakes. That's what we're doing in Mexico. We're only pushing the brakes because the inertia from all the debauchery and all the colonial excesses. Where do we begin to fix? I ain't Japanese. I'm gonna be grabbing a cup and be like, so this is when we realize that without our ancestors, we are nothing. We are nothing. That's why they cut us off, and they only left us one day for them. The Day of the Dead, they are not dead. They are not dead. We are the ones who is dead. All right. Keep believing. It's just but we are, like, well, besides Sunday, that momentous occasion is to have a native that is invested in his people. And that's another battle that people are like, try talking about race. It's like people say, well, we can talk about politics, but how can we talk about politics and we not talk about race? Or rather, lack thereof. Those who don't have one cannot have any sympathy, because obviously they see the original man as their number one threat. Imagine one African man can take all the white out. They know this is why they're so violent, because they know they're only a couple generations away from bye-bye. Because a recessive gene depends on other recessive genes. But what they've been doing, what they've been having to do is, there's no bunny crisis. So now theirs, if you look at, you see some crackers, you go like, like, if you are white, I am Japanese or some shit, like. I mean, like, look at the guy upstate. I wouldn't say, I mean, he went, we got to say the truth. He went white. He didn't go crazy. He did not go crazy. He did what they do time and time again. That's an isolated case. There's a great doctor, psychiatrist, doctor, amazing communist woman in Mexico, La Doctora Blanca Montoya. And she said she once saw this meme that, the brain cells, and there was the you know, cutting the brain cells. So she said we lost our ability to associate ideas, And she was talking about her daughter. That her daughter, she was like, you know, having. I mean, she's an actress. I think. I don't know. She was in theater, and she was talking. One of the producers was talking about that. You know, President Lopez Obrador is blah 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 blah. And she said, "Oh, where you saw that?" Well, I saw that, Televisa or TV Azteca or whatever, any Univision, Telemundo or whatever. So she went into like, I mean, have you noticed, how much, they spin stuff around, and she was able to talk to him and tell like, that's not what happened. It was totally spinned and taken out of context, to make seem our president to be corrupt or reckless or whatever. So the guy, you're right. That news channel, whatever caster, it's not very reliable. And a week later, he come out with like from the same channel, another one, and spewing, regurgitating whatever you want to, lies and deception. And she got to go and say like, don't you know the same owners of that channel are the same owners of these channels, the same owners, like whatever. Don't you know that they're funded by the corporations, and that's when you go like, F it, because you gotta go like, it's very, very, very hard situation because it's like, I mean, like people talking about like, oh, Fox News is much better than NBC News. I mean, really, you talk about, the channel and the other television channel or news portal or whatever. And this is what happens when you're not on the hamster wheel. You're able to notice things. And over time, you see, even ebbs and flows and stuff, and like that nobody care about, because they were told to keep their eyes on the prize. I mean, like, we're talking about like Fisher Price. Oh my God, it's like, I mean, watching all these shows, like this guy, I shouldn't give him a plug. Oh, it's called I Allegedly. And like, of course, they try to, save face and shit, but I mean, that I enjoy, but I know we're all going down. It's not like, oh yeah, it's just like, finally, white boy magic ain't working. Of course not, because this is the age of Aquarius. That shit was for the Piscean age. I noticed that. I think that shit gotta be in there. Like, come on. I mean, like, I am like, because I am a Venezuela feel. Venezuela. So, I love Venezuela. So I see day in, day out. Oh my God, this ear is totally clogged. Day in, day out, they're like constantly attempting coups. And that you don't want to see in the news. You're not going to see anywhere. I mean, like, but I watch, like, thank God for internet. I recommend you one of the best channels, Venezolana de Televisión, VTV. So it's great. And, they don't care as much about commercials. So they have the morning show and they just relax a little bit more, than, well, I haven't watched television like in 10 years or something, like, so I don't know. But I remember they used to have like, the segment was like, we're trying to talk about like, the benefits of blah, 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 blah. And when it talk about, politics, I mean, like, anyway, so what is the point? What is the point if we're gonna continue allowing them, charging for shit? I mean, like, for real? I mean, that's not the cost. Like I say, my medication is not $10,000 each bottle. I know that much. My surgery was not $100,000 either. But this credentialization is nothing new. They're making everything. I was just thinking, I was in this like 4-star hotel. It's like unbelievable. I was like effing, I was Cinderella story. Are you serious? I mean, this is like where on that floor. And because I'm transsexual, I had a whole room just for myself. I mean, and the menu, oh shit, I don't know if I got the menu. I think I left the menu. I mean, it was unbelievable. But come on, it don't have to cost that much. I mean, like, whether whatever the solution might be. I mean, like, this shit is so cheap. I mean, and this is something that's been popping in the mind for a while about the new generations. I don't hear shit about it. Of course, I'm 57. Why would I hear anything, right? But still, I'm like, come on, shouldn't I? Like, no. I mean, every day getting sprayed out. I mean, I feel like all the generations would have got like, one of those beams. These are drones. These are humongous drones. That's one of the toughest things to see day in, day out. And I point out the attention to the people in the street. They don't care. It's like the $30 trillion. And I mean, I'm rounding it up. There's some analysts that they're talking about $35 trillion. And like, oh, what's the difference? 30. I mean, I don't care how brilliant you are, but can you really imagine even $1 million in this room? Where would you put it? I mean, talk about all Benjamins or whatever, where you gonna put them at? And it's just insane. It's just insane. Like, when it's convenient to them, they want to use technology, and when it's not, I mean, when my friend came to visit from Florida, they broke into his car. We had to wait for the long time. They saw and they wrote down. It was like, because he come from an area that he left some expensive shit in the trunk, and they did not give him his receipt for the complaint. The complaint number, case number, whatever, reference number. So we're going backwards because you used to get like some slip or something or number. And now that they got the super AI that can, like, whatever, you can know if you look it up, or if you know how to look it up, whatever. And they do that on purpose. Like you say, what is the damn point? You call him the oink oink. When you don't get the proof, you don't get the receipt. You will have to get a lawyer, whatever, something like, like, oh yeah, she been complaining about this shit for a while. I mean, something might happen, whatever. And I mean, like, last year, my iPod, I dropped it as I was exiting the service entrance. And so this young guy, he picked it up so fast. And he was very, very tall, very fast, I knew it was him, like, come on. Because I had my little speaker, and it's like, it went mute. And I was like, so I called him. And I don't see why there was like, okay, so it's just like, they got all this stuff right here in the car, whatever. Like, it's like one of those episodes of Batman or something that they like pull. And their little computers that they got, that they, whatever, was not able to produce a complaint number. How is that acceptable? If I call you here, if I tell you about something, all right, you told me about that. Noted. On this day, whatever, blah, 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 blah. That's what you call them, because you want to have a paper trail, right? That's the way to do it. How are you going to have a paper trail where they don't give you paper? Shit. Anyway, I mean, I feel a little bit better. It's just, I'm glad that I decided to get in front of these things and vent out. I haven't had a talk therapist in almost 3 years, because I'm not crisis or anything. I just want maintenance, and I want to continue just working whatever I have to work and stuff. Like, there's nobody. At least nobody who take medication. You have to be like, I guess, so we went from having only like therapists, with small hats, everybody. And that was overnight. And I was like, when you have another one, they was all small hat. And now they're all gay. We were like, really? I mean, like, it sounds like a joke. I mean, like, how does like, and it's so obvious, like, they don't even, this is shamelessness. I mean, like, if you look around online you'll find stuff where with receipts and everything that this actually went like this was actually went like that. I mean, like, I mean, like, look at all the, I mean, like, I know it's not easy to find, but like, the the Hitler's wife living the life in South America, which is not South, it's North. um, I mean, that's, I mean, a slap in the face. Don't even begin to describe it. But she was not the only one. It was like everybody. Everybody. Why? Because they're all the same. They're one and the same. The other day, Instagram threatened, like, they was going to take down a post. And I said, like, no, I want to review it. And they left it. Talking about the Queen, more like the cochon, Elizabeth. And how, she is Nazi. And, her real name and last name of her family, they're like, people are like Windsors. Windsors? What the hell is that? Windsors. They're all the same ones, the Caucasoids, whatever, Saxons, whatever, They're all the same agenda, the same, shameless, like, and I mean, like, back in the days, it seemed every day like more and more harder to remember, but I mean, like, in this day and time, all you gotta do is just retweet, share, reshare. Somebody posted, like, that's, you don't get in trouble. Or like some people, they tell me they do, like, they post some shit and they go like, oh, what do you think of this? Or like they put OMG. I'm like, there's another way. There's many, many ways, like, but still we think we are cute or something. I don't know. I mean, like, you cannot call yourself a decent human being. You cannot call yourself whatever, Catholic, whatever. You cannot call yourself, whatever you want to call it, like righteous. Or if you stay silent, because we know silence equals death, right? And like we say in my country, we say, el que calla, otorga. Your silence is a vote. And how am I going to stay silent? I'm going to say, like, whatever. God might be here in my building, might be in my neighborhood, it might be in this island or the next or whatever. They don't got money. And, how are you going to reconcile? How are you going to, I don't know, justify, for lack of a better word, that they're going to put him out? They're going to put him out. They're going to put her out because she don't got money. I hope, if anybody listen to this part, skip to this part, miraculously, somebody ever watch. I know nobody watch this shit. This is why I feel a little bit more. And still, they give you warnings and shit. I mean, like, it's time to leave this shit alone and start a new one. I used to do it every 3 months, open a new one. But, just for whatever the reason, I'm just like, I guess I got the fuck it. I just haven't done it. I mean, like, but I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm just they don't even allow me to put a picture, for the channel, for the channel, for the channel number 5. They don't even allow me to put a picture. I mean, what the fuck is that? Obviously, they get into my computer, they get into everything. Oh, that's right, the Patriot Act. That's one of the things. Was like another one. What kind of drugs was we in to allow that monstrosity to continue to pass? Oh, it's going to be for a little while, because we got to make safe. We got to make safe, after the Twin Towers, we got to make safe. We tripled the OIM's budget. Well, that's for a little while, they need to, that's like, that sound more like, bitch, better got my money. Otherwise, I'm going to look for other Twin Towers out over here. And everybody went into the mass hysteria. I remember in other areas, Rosie O'Donnell, speaking up, and you see how, like, that's what they do it. Oh, here, like, we used to have a dictator in Mexico 100 years ago. And every time he used to see like a note or something, is like, oh, that rooster needs some corn. Go get that rooster some corn. And quiet, grease it up. There's no excuse for that. There's no excuse for that. If somebody don't got money, there's no excuse for them to be hungry. And no, that's not true. Like they put in the Bible, that they say that Jesus said that, oh, the poor is always going to be here, but I'm only here until I turn 33 years old. That's what they told us in church. No, the poor, there was never poor before the where, like in my home country, the jungle is down to like, I think 20% left officially. But everything was a jungle. Everything was a jungle. Up to Chihuahua was a jungle. The colonization manuals, first thing they say, what you do? Take off all the trees and you're going to be cropping, because that's how they're going to start complaining. They're going to start complaining when you give them food. You don't have to worry. Oh, no, go to the city, live the life, live the cropping. We're going to do, like in Mexico, we're not allowed to crop. Only Brazil, Argentina, Ukraine. I mean, there's very specific, like in like the grain basket. Are you serious? Over there, like, and what happened? I have a friend. I haven't seen her in a long time, from El Salvador, and well, she's from the border, Salvador y Honduras. So she says, like, her grandma used to say, it's like, I don't know what they did to the soil, but she don't grow the way it used to grow. We must denounce this artificial concept of currency. There was nothing wrong the way our ancestors was operating. Oh, you need this? Well, let me see what you got. I might need something that you got that I need. And if you ain't got shit that I want, okay, then give me some silver. Okay? But that was like rare. I mean, like mostly people wanted goods. People didn't want to have these blocks of silver or gold laying there. For what? You see the sickness, the pathology of the Neanderthal? And this is not, it's a fact. They say 2%. Yeah, it's like 2% milk. Yeah. And what about Sarah? SRA. No, it was a SARA mutation. Talking about facts. I'm talking about facts right here. SARA mutation, which is like what resulted, like, yesterday in Texas, and 3 days ago in no, 5 days ago in upstate New York. And he was supposed to be white. With that nose, he was supposed to be white. But I mean, don't get me wrong, he got the mutation, the SARA, and they tell you, and this in the books, and instead of looking for that gene and say like, hey, we gotta keep an eye on these morphos because, you know, and it's all about jealous, envy, psychosis, paranoia, whatever. Just imagine when they went to Mother Africa and they saw, you gotta do just stretch your hand. What you got? Oh, mangoes, nuts, everything. You have to worry about nothing. Right here too, in the Anahuac. In the Anahuac, there was no worries. Well, up here, yeah, it was cold. It was cold still, But I'm telling you, up until Chihuahua, it was nice weather. That's what they're always thinking about the caves. They say, oh, it's too damn hot. It's too hot. It's too hot. Global warming. Now what they call it climate change. Like I say, I'm 57, and since I was like 15 years old, I keep hearing, we're going to lose so much land because it's going to be buried in water. And you go right there, you see the damn videos, and it seems like even the ocean is receding. That is also what they call a pathological liar. Pathological liar, but it's all envy. It's all envy. That's what they all identify with the negative, the destructive. There was no library of Alexandria because they had to put their name on everything. That's some of the cuckoo signs. And those books, those writings went to Greece. Those went to Greece, and from there, as retarded people, like we gotta say that. So they understood what they understood. They made a language out of numbers, no script, Romans didn't have a script or anything; it's numbers. And it's sad and pathetic and upsetting, how and this is historic. All the truth seekers, all the ones that they say that their moral compass is correct and stuff, they gotta say it. Was it Socrates who used to curse them out? That's why they call it Ethiopians. Because it's so freaking racist. They say that their face was burnt. He was cursing them out, saying like, "Oh, they don't want to share the secrets. They don't want to share the secrets. They are like this, they are that, they are like whatever." Because they did not want to give them, the secrets from what they call, the mystery schools. I mean, one typical example is like the Book of the Dead. The Book of the Dead. Who in the right mind gonna call it the Book of the Dead? But that's all they understood. They see coffins, they see whatever. Oh, dead. Oh, yeah. They're obsessed with death. How backwards. Everything they gotta compartmentalize it. Everything. They treat us like it was a car, oh, the skin doctor, the heart doctor. It's insane. And now it's like they think with their super AI, they're gonna be able to do what our ancestors did without any tablets or computers or whatever. And those are our ancestors. They're not extraterrestrials. Need I remind you, right here in the Anahuac, they vanished. All the Toltecs, as far as we know, the Toltecs, which, they're so retarded. They would say, oh, the Toltecs, that's a race. That's some culture. No. That's a high elevated consciousness. And we don't know where they went. We see the cities, they're abandoned. And these are facts. Even Snow Bunny can tell you that's a fact. And I don't think they went nowhere. We was the one who left. They make us eat at least 3 times a day. We got to stay so heavy, locked in, because you need a house. You need a house to put all kinds of trash in the house. So there's no way, and we know that in order to talk to our ancestors, we need to skip dinner. And now what we do? Oh, dinner is the heaviest meal. You go to sleep and you're like, and then we wake up and then say like, oh, I'm back into the real world. No. Right now, I'm asleep. When I'm with my ancestors in my dreams, and that's the real world. That's why we don't see them no more. Anyway, I'm just, oh my God. It's good to put it in words, like to listen to myself. I never listen to the videos because I don't know. I just like, it's weird to listen to the video myself. I say one day, I mean, I have to. Sooner or later, I'm going to have to. That's how I'm probably going to find out. Oh, I'm crazy. Can you imagine? Like 20 years, like, why nobody called Bellevue? No, of course not. I am very... Years ago, I used to kind of like doubt myself. It's like, well, nobody's seeing what I'm seeing. But then the internet and stuff, it came out and it's like, oh, you see it. There's a guy who say he's Syrian and British. I don't know what the hell that is, because British ain't a race and Syrian ain't a race either. But he don't want to say he's black, like he's African. Okay, so where was I? So even that him, like you see that channel, it's like, and I discovered that channel a few months ago. I was like, wow, that's so good. It's like, oh, you see what I see? I mean, even Gonzalo. When you listen to Gonzalo Lira, you're like, I'm not crazy. He see that shit too. But then again, everybody just stopped because it's like branding. My branding, by the way, that was Gonzalo Lira's one of the most fantastic work. When well, he had had some really, I mean, like what my president would say, home runs, you know. But talking about the branding and I've always been saying it. I've been saying it's like, how am I gonna be supposed to trusting a journalists who get paid by Whitey, Mighty, and and obviously, I mean, like you see them on Twitter, like defending their career, like their children might be, oh, you can take their firstborn, that's no problem, but my career, my how I'm building some. What I was like, I used to watch years ago some of the videos about the corporate whatever. It's like I went like, these people are nuts. But you know, I mean, it's a lot easier said than done. I know there's fathers that need to provide, and there's some crazy feminists that will never admit they're wrong and that they effed up, without a husband. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I see these bitches like, and I get this vision of Charlie Sheen, in his heyday, winning, winning, like Trump is like winning, winning, and fantastic, hyperbolic, diabolic, like I see so many feminists, and I want to tell them like, you really fucked up, didn't you? I want to say, oh my god, it's like I just popped out this. I used to have my best friend in the '90s. She's from Ecuador. Both I don't know what happened to the family, but her sister was stunning, stunning. I'm not dyke or anything, but she was stunning. I mean, like when we all used to be working, that's how we met in this Mexican restaurant in the Upper West Side. Oh my god, I can't believe I ran into her like a year ago. I just couldn't believe it. Cat lady. And she effed up her nose, because they don't want to be African. They want to have oh my god. By the way, I saw a picture of Mariah Carey before the surgery. She had such a beautiful nose. I was like, but cool, cool. But like Tommy Motola, don't like. I mean, they're Africans too. I think the Etruscans was Africans, and then not just Etruscans. But anyway, everybody, that's why they control the internet. They gotta control the color of the skin of the people. When you make a click, when you search for something, it don't matter what it is, what country, it might be India, Africa. You see somebody with really pale skin. Even in Africa, you see this lady so beautiful with a bleached skin, with a wig that looked like a clown. You go like, why? God made you perfect, and you want to F yourself. Why will be a God so cruel to put us in this world with this amazing, beautiful sun and a pasty skin that these bastards, they end up in the hospital every day with their degrees. And, it's really bad. It's really bad. I mean, I don't listen to radio, but once in a while I listen just to, I guess, to see what they're up to. And all you see is commercials. It's like $1 trillion industry. Okay, yeah, sun protector, sunblock, bye the sunblock. Yeah, the sun is our enemy. The sun is the worst thing. And like, really? So where you think all the vegetables and the fruits get all their power? From the sun. The sun impregnate Mother Earth, you know. I mean, elephants don't eat meat. They're humongous. There's a lot of, animals. They're like rhinos. They are pure muscle, no meat. Of course, we know who control all the meat and the poultry and the dairy. You got eat it, eat it, eat it. It's delicious. Eat it, make a body good. And like, wow. But I mean, we must reject the concept of currency. I mean, if we lose this battle, we lose the war. I just hope that President Putin don't decide, to get along, to go along, because then he need to go to an insane asylum after all the stuff they've been going through. It was like 27 million Russians lost in the White World War II. All that stuff. I mean, like, it's just crazy if you decide like, oh, well, let's, I mean, and he promised this time is for real. This time, and it's enough. We're gonna finish what we started. Well, we didn't start it. What they started. The bullies, the damn bullies. Let me see. I don't even know if this thing is recording. It might not be recording. Let me check. Well, I see the video here. Got sound? I don't know if they got sound. You got too. Well, I see the video here. Mysteriously. Yeah, they got sound. Mysteriously, all this kind of stuff happened. You see? Not a single viewer, no nothing. How can that be? How can that be that, billions of people around the world and nobody stumbled into a live stream by accident? When I know there's people that they like at least 2-3 times a week, they look for live streams because, that they want to know. People like me that we value spontaneity, authenticity, organic, all this stuff, without any poses, without any pretensions of, like, oh, I might get discovered. I might be the next Candace Owens. Page, please, come on. And just like, life's too damn short, like, can't believe it's 2022 and people, I mean, I don't know. I heard the other day that people still, posting about their breakfast and, I'm going to the store, or like, I mean, like, that's okay, but I mean, for their family, whatever, sometimes that's how you protect yourself, you have to go, especially at night. If I go at night, you gotta have the light on and you gotta be live streaming, just to get from point A to point B and make sure you are right. And even so, you see how many live streams, but they do it on purpose. They do it on purpose. That's called a snuff film, because they know the psychological impact. They know how a lot of people that we feel protected being on the live stream, right? Being on the live stream and being like that. But I don't buy into that. I see them all the time, especially the pigs. The pigs, they run. I start turning on this shit. I'm like, oh, really? So they start staring at me. They start like, okay. And this is like a bug repellent. For real, they go like, they start walking away. And to think that the new mayor of New York City is threatening us, that if we don't stop filming the pigs, that blah, 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 We gotta let them do their job. Listen, we're paying at least $20 billion a year to these muffles. And they don't even work for us. They work to protect the corporations, the super rich, because we got a lot, unfortunately, over here. Anyway, I feel better. I'm gonna see my soup is ready. And I still want to go to the park and sit down, but I don't know. It's something. I thought I was gonna make the video shorter if I was standing up, and look at it, it's almost 2 hours. So I don't think it'll work. I always want to make short videos, but it's like I feel like the mind don't work like that sometimes. Like you have to. People got to start talking, and when they let the guard down, that's when they start talking the truth. That's why I like to waste my time sometimes watching live streams, because they might say, "Oh, I might make a comment about some shit that I have no idea." It might be brewing up, And I should end this rant. I say self love. I guess I should not be calling this. We did a great job on Brooklyn. The train station with the smoke screens and stuff. Unfortunately, people are not continuing to share and talk about it, but it was even that show with the crazy guy. What's his name? The small house. After that, it's a comedian. What's his name? Door. He was right there, and people are like, "Come on, you see, the false flags in our face. How you gonna say the media is not allowed to go down there in the platform? How you gonna say that?" Anyway, that was a small victory, but unfortunately, we gotta think about when the ratings are really down, they still get at least 2 million viewers. And most of these videos, they only got, the most they got 1 million viewers. So it's like, they feel like a little drop in the bucket, but it's right there. It's right there. And like I noticed some people, it was also on Haitian television. It was, they was talking about people was laughing about the postings and all this stuff, the fake blood. Unbelievable. I said it right away. The same shit in Ukraine. I say false flags in Ukraine, false flags, and I think people really don't think that people read in the bird shit. But some people might read. And I'm glad that it got exposed. So they better think twice for the next false flag BS. Later.